Now playing on Baze Radio to CO the KE. Thank you so much for tuning in on Baze Radio to CO the KE. My good name is Zelvakido. I'm being joined by one and only. It seems we have the new president in studio, presidential aspirant Patrick Osoi. Allow me to introduce Patrick Osoi. Patrick Osoi is well known as, a supplier specialist Pala United States of America, as well as CEO at Capital Choice Investment Limited, CEO Capital Choice Investment Limited at CCI Digital as well. Patrick Osoi is a former SOF DMI Special Forces soldier at KDF Department. Patrick Osoi ni kama kijana amesoma sana kitabu, former MV Automotive at KDF Department. Tukiguza mambo ya education kidogo, jamaa amesoma pale Logistics Management at Moore University in 2019 as well. Studied MBA Strategic Purchasing Management. Hey, Pale American Military University. Studied as well Forensic Science and Criminal Investigation at Kenya Institute of Security and Criminal Justice. Finally, Patrick Osoi went with me at the students of Kenya Institute of Business Management. Na tukasoma na yeye Purchase and Supply Management. Welcome to Baze Radio.
Thank you so much, sir.
A matter of 10 years, you've managed to achieve all this.
Kujituma. I'm telling you, there's nothing that can stop anyone. And we are limited because of our mindset. Today, when I say at my age today that I want to be the Kenyan president in 2027, most of the people have been like, manze, si hata ungeanza tu,
MCA.
Pale chini ungeanza, unajua Muhaya, msi anaenda kukuwa governor, si ungeingia hata Muhaya MP. Ama uamue tena, uingie senator. But I've been encouraging people and telling them that the most important thing you need to have is the mindset. That way it starts. The moment you're able to work out your mindset, nothing is impossible.
Nothing is impossible.
Right.
One of the quotes, just to read one of your quotes, is that ignorance of one voter is a democracy impairs the security of all. Let's talk about mindset.
Yes.
What is actually happening in Kenya right now?
Right.
There's a lot happening in the country.
Right.
What is the mindset of Kenyans right now?
We are in a crisis of where people want to revolutionize in matters mindset. People are realizing some things that they never used to realize before. And they're like, oh my goodness, I think there's something that we don't know that we need to know. So there's that now conflict of mind of most of the Kenyan. In this case, these are the millennials and Gen Zs, because these people are very rational in their matters of thinking, because these are people who will ask you why. Why this? Why this? As long as you're able to justify your why to any person who is millennial, Gen Z, you got them. But the moment you're not able to justify and you want to do things just anyhow, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be on you. I'm telling you. I have a son. I got married a little bit younger. You know that, right? At 21 years, I did my wedding, paid my dowries, and did my wedding at 21 years. So I have a Gen Z in my house, who is around 13 years right now. And this young man, before I got to understand him, or rather, I understood like everything I have to justify. And when I was growing up, that was not the case. We never used to be allowed to justify anything or ask questions. Why are you telling me that to do this? Why are you doing this? Where were you and why did you do this and this and that? So this kind of mindset is a mindset of accountability. Naturally, Gen Zs and millennials who are born like myself between like 88, 89 all the way, they are people who are very arithmetic in thinking.
Okay.
Yes. So that's why mi unajua mi na ule Gen Z I think the difference is around 7 years or 6-7 years.
6-7 years.
Yes.
You're very wise with the words.
Right.
Patrick Osoi, for those that are listening for the first time, they always want to get a briefly, about Patrick Osoi as we wind up this conversation. Coming back with more in the next few.
No problem. So basically, from the introduction that you've done, I think it has summarized all of it. But I'm just a young Kenyan who is aspiring to be the Kenyan president in 2027, unless otherwise happens in between, because you never know. With the sovereignty of the people can decide otherwise and have the control of the government, the parliament, and have vote of no confidence to the government that is seated. And then guess what happens? We get into new elections. I'm ready like never before.
Patrick Osoi, born ready. Nairobians always say it. Mapema ndio best. But for now, it's YOLO Sheba as we come back with more in the next few.
Thank you.
YOLO. Way, mambo ni YOLO. That was YOLO by Sheba. Alle on playing on Baze Radio to see the KE. If you're tuning in right now, thank you so much. Because we're here with a man with, peppers, a mother in a mission, a man who wants to change the life of people, a young Kenyan who has a vision to become a presidential aspirant 2027. Patrick Osoi, born in Nairobi, kidogo amekulia pale diaspora kidogo, but amerudi nyumbani akasema mambo nyumbani haiko sawa. Before we talk about your political ambition, Patrick Osoi, allow me to announce the winners. This coming Friday, we've partnered, KC have partnered with Baze Radio for, a KC cocktail immersion event that will be happening on Baze Radio to see the KE. Baze Radio bash itaweza sana. Just to mention, we've got Yaba who will be joining us on Friday for the exclusive, KC cocktail immersion event. And my lucky winners that will be joining us this coming Friday, just to mention the names, I've got Mary Kenyan Jui. Hey, Mary, congratulations for winning a chance to come to join us this coming Friday. My second winner is Paris Wambua, and my third winner is Isaac. I'm an Isaac Rai. Congratulations for winning a chance to join us at the KC Cocktail Immersion event this coming Friday. Mpige luku tupatane Friday to tese. I'll see you, Patrick.
Yes, sir.
Coming back to what is happening in the country.
Yes.
You know very well, I know you've been born a leader from a long time. People don't know this. Kuna time fulani tulikuwa sisi wote kwenye presidential candidate, tulikuwa presidential candidate pale university.
Yeah.
Tulikuwa tunataka kulead wanafunzi pale shule.
I remember.
IBC katuangusha. Kura zetu zilienda na maji.
Kweli.
We are here to discuss about now. You want to change this country, you want to change the face, you want to change the lives of people.
Correct.
But before we talk about your ambition, your plans for the Kenyans this coming 2027, what is the state of the nation right now as you're speaking?
What I want to say is that we have a lot of issues that has been created because human beings create issues and try to bring solutions to them. Seeing a situation whereby the Gen Zs, millennials, demonstration that has been there before for Kenyans who want change in this country, people taking advantage of that and wanting to propel their own agenda in this country. And I'm saying this because, one, I've seen the likes of Honorable Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka isolating himself from Right Honorable Raila Odinga, and in this case Raila Amolo Odinga joining William Ruto for whatever reasons. But I want to say these are called psychological operations whereby they are playing minds with Kenyans and Kenyans who are of goodwill to change this country. One, I want to say, it is officially, if today Raila Amolo Odinga is not in the context, guess what happens? Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka becomes the opposition leader officially. So they understand that game. And again, they want to capture the minds of the young people like us and others to purport that they are in support for the change that we want in this country. But what I want to tell every other Kenyan listening to us, it is not time to listen to these folks that has been in politics for a long time. They have nothing to offer to us. We must bring the change, and the change that is needed in this country. A change of equality, a change of accountability, a change of rule of the law, a change where there is effectiveness and efficiency, a change that which everyone is able to get get what they have to get at their own comfort. That is the Kenya we want to see.
The Kenya we want to see is the Kenya what you've mentioned earlier on, because one of the most critical things Gen Z have been calling, Kenyans has been calling, is the accountability. We've seen these faces from back then. We've seen these old faces back to back. Right now, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto has, joined, has partnered with, the likes of Kalonzo Musyoka, Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, so many more, just to see, to come up with a way whereby they can work for the Kenyans and they can deliver for the Kenyans. Aside from that, Baba has sacrificed, Kenyans just for an AU seat.
I want to say that there is no correlation between a dialogue and accountability whatsoever. So we can't be calling for accountability, calling for audit, calling for change that just need action. And what we see is a dialogue. Those are not correlations. We cannot even have a correlation to them. So let us not get fooled. And I want to tell young people of change mind. And I want to say that Gen Z is a symbolic of any Kenyan who want change in this country. It's not age factor, but any Kenyan who is out there who want to have change or to see change in this country. I want us to say that we let us stand steadfast and see us bring change in this country.
Everyone is calling for change. Gen Z are calling for change. Kenyans are calling for change.
Yes.
Are you the right person to bring change? We're going to find out.
I want to say...
We're going to find out in the next few. But for now, allow me to play Manipulate Kalamoto featuring Okeloma. Tucheze 0-0 YBW Smith and Sean MMG wanasema tutokezea au sio. Up next for you, I've got My G kwenye klabu Lil Minor featuring Scam Cardinale. If you're tuning right now, I'm in studio with one and only presidential aspirant 2027 Patrick Osoi. Wanasema Patrick Osoi kwa ground, watu wanaimba wanasema Patrick Osoi ndio dawa.
Hivyo.
Patrick Osoi wewe ndio dawa jamani, ama
dawa sasa.
Dawa ya viongozi, dawa ya corruption,
dawa ya uongozi mbaya, dawa ya watu ambao ni selfish, dawa ambayo ni inaondoa mambo ambayo yamekumba hii nchi tangu 1963. We want to see a new Kenya. A revolutionized Kenya, industrialization revolution, economic revolution, leadership revolution in this country.
In this country?
Yes.
Hopefully we'll see that. Hopefully Kenyans will give you a chance,
Absolutely. What I want to say that the best thing is that we have come in such a time and we came before these wrangles of the finance bill. If somebody checks or with us in our handles, that is May. We started in January this year. May, I was in this country and I went all over this country, went to Kisumu, went to Vihiga, came to Nairobi, and I told people we need to come to a point of saying enough is enough and together for change, to make sure that we reject bad governance, we reject punitive taxation in this country and offer solutions that are sustainable to Kenyans.
Talking about enough is enough. There's so much happening in the country. And pale kwenye X platforms, Kenyans are saying nane march.
Correct. I want to give guidance, one, because I'm a security expert. Other than just running for Kenyan presidency, I have a take on wanting to see every Kenyan safe and every other person safe. Two, I am contesting to be the Kenyan president. One, I would want to say that I wouldn't want to see, for example, somebody like His Excellency, the President William Ruto fail, because if he fails, all of us as Kenyans have failed. And that is why Kenyans are on the street today, because they do not want to see a failed Kenyan. So, tarehe 8 mwezi wa 8, I'm waiting to see, and I've always told the young generation, people who have the mindset of changing this country, that I'm ever ready when we have an objective to make sure that we achieve what we have to achieve. But if we do not have structures and formation to achieve, as a fighter, I've told you, the best way to approach any fight, any enemy, is having formation and structures so that we minimize the casualties and so that we be effective to what our objective will be.
Let me ask you this.
Right.
Regarding, Rais amekaa, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto amekaa kwenye kiti kwenye kwanza government wamaliza 1 year.
Correct.
What is the scorecard?
Basically, I would say that probably he took the wrong direction. If he meant well for this country, one of his priorities would have been to do auditing when he got into office and to seal all the loopholes of corruption instead of going the taxation way. Because when you're taxing Kenyans and you've not sealed the corruption loops, guess what happens? It's like getting water into a sack. Even if you flow water into a sack, it will never get full. So we don't want to ask taxes for Kenyans that will go to the pockets of few people. And when money is within the small percentage, the 10% of Kenyans having money, what we are talking about no good economy or flow of cash flow in the country. So we need to create equity in this country, and we need to make sure that we take corruption to zero tolerance. If it means for Kenyans today, they tell me, hey, Patrick Osoi, as the Kenyan president, we have given you, or we, the citizen, we want any person caught on corruption deals to be hanged. That's what we're going to do. If they say that any person caught in corruption, this is what we are supposed to do to them. But I want to say that we need to deal with this giant mercilessly and make sure that this country gets to where it's supposed to be.
Hopefully, we will see that Nane March. It's happening on 8th August 2024. A march to freedom, as many Kenyans are calling it, is hashtag Occupy status, hashtag Route to Moscow. I don't know if that will ever happen because every Kenyans across the country where we're planning to march on Nane. As we come back now, we're going to discuss more now on your presidential dream.
Perfect.
But for now, Maji kwenye klabu, Lil Minor featuring Ska Mkardinali, now playing on Baze Radio, the CO, the KE. Under the Influence, that was Femi One featuring Yashinsky, legendary Yashinsky, earlier on, playing on Baze Radio, the KE. Talking about Under the Influence, this coming Friday, we've got KC in a cocktail immersion event happening on Baze Radio. Earlier on, I've mentioned my amazing winners that will be joining us. Me, Yamba, tuko na cocktail, Jama fulani hivi anafanya mixologist manini nini. As well, I'll be having a DJ in studio this coming Friday for an experience one-of-a-kind KC cocktail immersion party event happening this Friday, courtesy of KC and Baze Radio. Rais aspirant, ama wanasema rais mtarajiwa, Patrick Osoi, presidential aspirant 2027. Hii dream yako ya kuwa rais, safari yako, ndoto yako ya kuwa rais, ilianza na changamoto yako ya kuuza makaa, ama ilitoka wapi? Ama pia ni calling kuwa rais?
Wacha niseme aswa sikuwa na nia kusema nitakuwa ama nitawania urais. And what geared me to doing that, one is not about the kind of life I went through or maybe the hassles that I've done before, but it came when I got into the military. And then I realized that we all have formalities in terms of rules and regulations governing government institutions in this country. I went through a lot of challenges, especially working with a command-based job, whereby you need to follow command, and at times they are not the commands that are favorable. And I want to speak to a police officer out there, a military officer, a military person out there, that you do not have to follow unlawful command. It is covered, you are covered by the constitution of this country, and also you're covered by the provisions of the service or the provisions that are provided in the military code. So let us be vigilant, especially the security people. And I'm saying this because of the things that are coming, the 8th aid and others, that we need not just to be sent out there to torment, abduct, and do or shoot innocent Kenyans that are willing to demonstrate and to be able to come out to execute their constitutional right. So aside from that I realized there was a lot of challenges in policies and more so in probably governing this country. Actually, this came up when I actually joined our Ujasusi, the National Intelligence Service of this country. And this opened up my mind on seeing not just security aspect, but I saw a nation at large. And at this point, I saw we are able to understand a lot of things in concerning our country. And there again, I realized there was more of personal interest that are not geared for the interests of this country. So that is when I began to feel the urge. I think around 21 years, I started thinking on like, there's something I need to do. As young as 2021, because I was in the military then. I was a young person in the military, but I had that feeling like I think there's something that need to be done. But at that point, there's nothing I couldn't do. I remember there's one officer who met me and told me, Osoi, you need to just be patient enough. You get promoted to Major General and other high ranks, and you'll be able to change whatever you want to change in this military. I also realized it is not possible because those senior brass people you see in the government, their hands are held. They are accountable to individuals and not the policies or guidance or rule of the law of this country. And I want to see a free country, a country whereby is guided by the rule of the law, where a police officer, a commander of a military, a police IG, who is not guided by what is being told to do, but what is provided by the rule of the law.
By the rule.
Yes, so bad governance, bad policies that are not followed geared me to want to become the Kenyan president at the age of 21 years and that which will help me and with others of the like mind to change the country to a better country for all of us.
Hopefully, we will see a better country for all of us. Coming back with more, just to ask you in the next few, of course, we'll discuss this in the next few.
Right.
What's your plan, to gain the public interest? Because you've come from a background whereby family, your mother, your grandfather, they have no political influence.
Correct.
Just a Kenyan, ordinary Kenyan.
Right.
I don't know, safari yako itakuwa pia ni ya bottom up.
Correct.
I don't know. We're going to discuss that in the next few. But for now, it's for you. Desi Music, now playing on Baze Radio.co.ke. It's for you, Desi Music, taking us through 54 minutes past 3 p.m. 6 minutes to go as we wind up this conversation. Up next for you, Yule Pale Redson. But for now, I've got one and only presidential aspirant 2027, Patrick Osoi. By the way, Patrick, hujatuambia ni chama gani unasimama nayo, agenda yako ni gani, manifesto yako ni gani, plan ni gani as well. Na watu ambao wakujui jamani watakujua vipi, because hii campaign ambayo iliisha ndio watu walisimama for fame, wajulikane tu wapate political mileage.
Actually want to speak to any Kenyans who is out there listening to us or who will get this conversation. Kindly, I want you to take a minute, go through our handles. That is Patrick Osoi. In most of the social medias, we use Patrick Osoi or Honorable Patrick Osoi in one of the accounts in Facebook. I want to say this because I want people to understand me first, even before you subscribe or you get into following us, because I am a Kenyan who has a good cause. So I want them to understand and to see me. And I want to give Kenyan an offer of good leadership and bad leadership in this country. It is be their choice to choose if they want good governance or we still want to continue with the crooks, thieves in this country. And today morning at KTN, I challenged and I said if there be any leader in this country who can tweet and say he is a truthful, genuine leader, he can do that. A leader who can get into the parliament and see the privileges that are being given is more exceedingly than what my constituents are given, and say, sir, I think it is unfair to feed me on this, to give me this, and I want this to be given or to be channeled to the people. Today, if we talk of 130 million given to every constituency in this country, money that is enough to offer free education in this country, and our members of parliament, they have never gone up together and to say, man, I think we need to offer free free education in this country. But because it's a system that was created, once you get into that system, guess what happens? Your mind becomes corrupt. So I understand that. And that is why I want to say that I am incorruptible. There's no money that can buy Patrick Osoi to change his course to bring change in this country.
Are you sure?
Very sure, 100%. I can take this to the bank.
Unaweza kuna zile frustrations ukuwa pale wakati una submit,
Correct.
your presidential, application.
Right.
Hauna certificate, hauna degree, imepotea,
So, I understand the orchestrations that government do. So I prepared for it. Since I was 20 years. Once I was in the military, I did what I did preparing to become the Kenyan president. So I've been among the best trained persons in this country. By 2017, I was among the best soldier trained in this country. So I have prepared it all. By all means, mentally, I've prepared. Physically, I've prepared. I think you've seen me go push-ups. Unaona kidogo mkono moja, unaona. Spiritually is prepared that there's nothing can stop Patrick Osoi from becoming the Kenyan 6th president whenever time allows.
Patrick the 6th? Maybe.
Yes.
We're not sure about that. One message I want to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
What message will you like to convey to the Kenyan people as they consider their choices for the 2027 election?
Right. I actually want to us to continue propagating for people giving out handouts to buy the will and I would say the inheritance of our rights, to make sure that we have no voice by just giving us little monies that cannot even cannot do anything to you in this economy. I want to give an example that is so weird for many of us and young people would understand. When you meet a lady out there or you meet a guy out there and your interest is, I want to give them money and spend time with them. I want to say that once you give them money and you spend time with them, you have no moral authority to ask them who gonna be the next person or who they've been with before. That what I mean is that when a politician gives you money out there, it's like a prostitution transaction whereby you cannot question them, you cannot call them for accountability. There's nothing we can do. Right now, Honorable, that is our excellent Dr. William Ruto, used more than 2 billion Kenyan shillings to campaign. Then the question is, how is he going to recover those money? So we need to come to a point of saying enough is enough. And 2027, I'm gearing up to gang up Kenyans of goodwill, around 24 million Kenyans, to support us, to support every other leader in this country who is of change, so that we don't want to have leaders using their monies to get into a respective leadership. So kama kuna mtu ako nje pale and you feeling that you are the change of the Kenyans that you want, I want you to prepare yourself, whether at constituency level, at ward level. You are not going to use your own monies. We are going to make sure we have a planning, a mechanism, and a way to make sure that people and leaders will not use their money so that they don't go out there to steal from us.
All right, Patrick.
Right.
So thank you so much. Of your social media platforms.
Right. That is Patrick at Osoi, Patrick Osoi. That is on X, and on TikTok it is Patrick Osoi at Patrick Osoi, and then on Facebook we have two. We have the page, and I have my personal account, which is Patrick N Osoi, and then we have Honorable Patrick Osoi. That is Facebook. The same on Instagram is Osoi Patrick.
Thank you so much, Patrick Osoi, for passing by on Baze Radio to see the KE. Due to time, we will have to have another sit down in the future just to unbox more from you, your political ambition, and what is actually happening in the country. Till next time, same place. God over bless. Tupatane kisha midday ya saa 8 to 5 p.m. Just to let you know, my Baze Radio family, from tomorrow, it's official. My timings for the show, Kwa Block at Silver Kiddo, will be happening from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. We link up tomorrow, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. God bless, be safe, take care, and I love you guys all.
This is Baze Radio.
We are 254 to the core.